Bonjour, buongiorno, buenos dias, ni hao. This is Tom Mullen in Bordeaux, Vino Voices, and we're just going to wait a little bit for some people to come online, hoping that we have some guests tonight with some interesting questions also. I'm living in the town of Blaye in Bordeaux, which is on the right bank, and the weather today is absolutely splendid. Oh, we have a few people coming online now. That's great. Okay. Heather from the UK. Welcome, Heather. Nice to see you here. Today is going to be a great show. It's only 30 minutes long. We're going to be very casual. I have some very special guests. And if you see the chair next to me, that is because not only am I going to have a guest live, but the guest has some friends also. So the topic of today, we're going to speak about the right bank and left bank Bordeaux, which is a very general topic. And the reason it's general is because it allows us to speak about basically anything. Okay, so let's start off with the planet, and then we're going to start off with France. And the country of France has 13 administrative regions, okay? And the largest administrative region in all of France is in the southwest. It's called Nouvelle-Aquitaine. And it is 84,000 square kilometers in size. It is the size, this one region, the size of the country of Ireland. It is the size of the state of South Carolina in the United States. All right? And within that Nouvelle-Aquitaine region, we have 12 different departments. And one of those is called the Gironde. And the Gironde is about 10,000 kilometers squared. It is about half the size of the country of Wales. It is half the size of the state of New Jersey in the United States. And the Gironde encompasses completely the Bordeaux wine area. All right? So the Bordeaux wine area, what do we have? We have 111,000 hectares of vines. Okay? That is 480 square miles of vines, which is 10 times the size of the city of Paris. So I'm explaining this to you just to give you the overall objective, the size of Bordeaux. Bordeaux has 60 wine appellations, 60. Sometimes some references say 57, but let's just consider it 60, okay? And I spoke last night with Chris Phelps, a winemaker from Napa Valley. We had a great discussion on Zoom. And he told me that a very important fact, and that is that of all the renowned wine appellations in Bordeaux, only 10% of those, they represent only 10% of the wines. So if you consider the left bank, that is toward to the west of the Gironde estuary, if you consider appellations such as Margaux, Saint-Julien, Pauillac, Saint-Estèphe, and if you consider Pessac-Léognan, and then on the right bank, which is to the east of the Gironde estuary, you consider the Grand Crus of Saint-Emilion and Pomerol. All of those wines together, the well-known wines, represent only 10% of the volume of output of wine in the Bordeaux. Okay? So the output of wine is 500 million liters a year. And I did some calculations. If you go to Rome, the Trevi fountain, the amount of volume water that pumps out in 6.25 days is equal to that amount of wine. Or if you took 200 Olympic-sized swimming pools, 200, and you filled them with wine, that is the size of the volume of wine coming out of Bordeaux. Okay, so let's have a look. Also, we have different appellations, and if you can close the window, that would be great. Thanks. There's someone outside whistling away. So there's different classification systems. We have the 1855 classification system, which is set in stone pretty much forever. We have a 1953 Pessac-Léognan classification. We have a 2020 classification for Cru Bourgeois, which was initially founded in 1932. We have a Saint-Emilion classification, which comes out every 10 years. So the next year it comes out is 2022. Okay, so that's the general overview of Bordeaux. And today's guest is not really in the world of wine, but they're going to tell us about something that you did not know about Bordeaux. Because if you go from the top of the Medoc all the way down 200 kilometers, you have what's called the Côte d'Argent, which is basically the money coast. And this is the longest beach in Europe, set of beaches. And not only do you have people going there and barbecuing and having their umbrellas and playing volleyball in the summer, you also have this being a surf capital. This is a surfing area, Bordeaux, which you probably did not know. So who I want to introduce to you next is a lovely, lovely lady who lives in Bordeaux City. Her name is Gaia Coretti. She is from the Friuli region, close to that, in Italy. She speaks more languages than I have fingers on this hand, and she also has 2 of her guests who are with her also. So Gaia, if you can come, you see in the States social distance is 6 feet, but in France it's 3 feet. So we have plenty of room. Welcome, Gaia.
Hello, Tom. Hello to everybody. Okay. I'm very lucky to be here today.
We're very happy to have you. And what we're going to do is I'm going to pour a little wine and talk about it. And then after I do, then I'm going to ask you a few questions about surfing and also then about Bordeaux City, okay? Mm-hmm. Because today we're talking about some of the attractions of Bordeaux which go beyond wine. All right, so here is your glass. Voila.
Thanks a lot.
And we always start off with a wine that is different. And this wine is from outside of Bordeaux, just to the north of Bordeaux. It's called Charente, okay? That's a different region. And we have 100% Merlot from the Famille Papin. Fabrice Papin, he worked in Hong Kong, I think as a distributor for Mouton Rothschild, and now his family also makes wine. This is called Extraordinaire, okay? That's the label for the 2016, but here is the 2019 because we're doing en premières, okay? So, voila, petit peu for Gaia because I think I'm gonna spit, but I think she's gonna enjoy her Friday afternoon having a swallow. So, chin chin.
Chin chin. Chin
Okay,
chin.
let's have a nice fresh. It's got a little bit of leather and cherry on the nose. Mmm. Beautiful red round Merlot. Nice tension between the acidity and the alcohol. Very well made. I would do this with a duck barbecue. Definitely Friday afternoon. This is a good wine to start off with. Congratulations, Fabrice. Okay, so Gaia, tell us a little about why you are a surfer, correct?
Yes.
So, and you've been living in Bordeaux for how many years?
I'm here in Bordeaux since around 4 or 5 years.
Okay. And tell us why you like the surfing on the Atlantic coast of Bordeaux.
I like surfing everywhere, but in Bordeaux, you have a very quality of wave. Mm-hmm. There is a very good quality of waves, and then the water is not so cold as in Brittany, where I lived before in the past. Even if I like a lot Brittany, Bordeaux is much better.
Because you work as a PR agent for sports, especially sailing,
yes,
and navigation, and so you were living in the capital of sailing in France, which is Brittany. Yes.
Yes.
So now you're in Bordeaux. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
No, but so I like a lot the waves here, the ambiance in the water. And then you have all the coast here in Aquitaine, and you have also other cities just south, like Biarritz, Osgore. They are the most perfect waves in Europe, with other places, as for example Portugal.
Okay.
But I like a lot Bordeaux.
Okay, great. So our next wine is Dame de Borde, and this is another one from Coralie de Borde. This is from Montagne Saint-Emilion, which is a satellite appellation of Saint-Emilion. And we've had Coralie de Borde's wine before, and we've had her father, Hubert de Borde's wine before also. So this is an 80-10-10 blend of Merlot, Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon. So here we go, a little bit, just a petit peu for you.
Yeah, just a little bit, otherwise at the end.
Okay, so let's have a little swirl here. And then after this, I'm going to have a look at who's online and say hello to some people. Oh, this is redolent with cherries. This is bursting with cherries. It's that Merlot coming out at us. And very energetic also. And it's a satellite of Saint-Emilion. some of the best value wines come from the satellites because they're not as well known as Saint Emilion, but often just as well made. Mm. Very well made. This is a rather inexpensive, less than $20 bottle of wine, but it's excellent. So I'm just going to have a look at who's online and say hello to some people, okay? Hello. We've got D from London. We've got Ella Wine. Hello, Letitia. Petit Moran. We've got the Fabrice Pepin. We've got Heather. We've got Roland from Holland. We've got Marlene from the United States. And we have Jane from New York. And Robin Kelly O'Connor. Great to have you here, Robin Kelly. Nice to have you guys. Okay, so let me cancel that and let's... oh, you're finished already?
I think I know Leticia.
Yeah, I think you do, because you actually introduced me to Leticia. Yeah. And she is in charge of Elo Wines. Yeah. And her family also has Chateau Vieux... Vieux Milan... Anyway, sorry. Vieux Moniac, okay? On the outskirts of... to the southeast of Saint-Emilion. Okay, so this is a lovely wine. So what we've done is we've gone to around the right bank. We've had Dame de Bordeaux. And now we're going to go just to the west of Saint-Emilion, and we're going to have a Franzac wine. And this is Chateau Plein Point. This is an 85-7-8, 85 Merlot, 7 Cabernet Franc, and 8% Cabernet Sauvignon. Chateau Plein Point in Franzac. Okay. So Gaia, as I pour this, tell us a little bit about why you love living in Bordeaux.
There are many reasons because for me Bordeaux is one of the most beautiful cities in Europe. I traveled a lot and I feel very well every time I'm in the city, so I live in the center. I like a lot the lifestyle, the architecture, the fact that you have the ocean not so far. Mm-hmm. You have very good wines and you can eat wonderful food also. So there are many different reasons. And the economical side is also interesting because you have a lot of different companies, so it's a dynamic place to live and to work.
And I think you live close to the restaurant called the Petit Commerce. Is that correct?
Of course, in France.
It's a beautiful area. I mean, all these little cobblestones down in the heart of Bordeaux. And that is where you live. So tell us a little bit about the alleys and the restaurants and the cafes. Imagine that it was pre-confinement, okay? But tell us a little bit about the energy and are the people friendly and what are they interested in?
The people are always outside. Here in Bordeaux, the lifestyle is very... they are very interested about to stay outside, in terrace, like they say here. And you have many kind of restaurants. I like a lot Petit Commerce. Then I don't know if we went together there, but I like a lot Madame Pang. So it's Asian food.
No, you said we would go. That's next time.
And you have so wonderful wine also.
Okay.
From Bordeaux. There's some champagnes from all over France and very high quality.
Okay, great. Well, I've just sampled this. I think you should have a sample of yours. So this is really rich, great mouthfeel. You can tell it has excellent structure. So the little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon is giving it a nice backbone there. Wonderfully made wine. I had not heard of this chateau before, but I think the price point of this is quite reasonable. So you have bon rapport qualité-prix, as they say. And the next wine we're going to have, Gaia, do you want to introduce us to your friends?
Maybe it's better that I don't drink all.
It's okay with me. Would you like to introduce us to your friends? Your friends?
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Alors, yes, I have to introduce these small friends.
Okay.
Mimi, my little saucisse dog.
Oh, and Mimi, okay.
Mimi, do you know her?
Very good. I know her very well.
And then Pepino, viens là. And then my second dog, he's a bit old. He's 15 years old, and he's very cool. He's a good guy, cool guy.
And what's the name of that one?
Pepino.
Pepino, okay. So now we are drinking some Etalon Rouge. This is our wine. I'm a 10%
My favorite.
co-owner of this, and the Gaia says it's her favorite. This is 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. And this used to be from a vineyard that used to be owned by Gérard Depardieu. Okay. So this is your glass. Oh, and what we're drinking here, everything tonight is 2019, except
Thanks.
this wine is a 2016, because the 19 is still in the barrel. Okay. And so let's see how that goes. This is a right bank, 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, which is unusual. All right, so. Oh, I love this. This is the problem is I could drink this nonstop, and no, it's great. It's got this chewy cherryness to it, yeah, and it's really well balanced. And it's unusual to have 100% wine here because Bordeaux is quintessentially a blend. You have Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Petit Verdot, Malbec, Carmenère. But to have 100% means it's sort of extra appellation. You can't get the appellation. So it'll be classified perhaps as Bordeaux Superior. But some terroir, and if you think about Chateau Petrus, where our friend last night we spoke to, Chris Phelps, Chateau Petrus is 100% Merlot. So it depends on the terroir. Sometimes you can get 100% of a certain type of grape. Okay.
Great.
So, does anyone have any questions? And then we'll go back and talk a little bit about surfing again. I see John there. That's great. Let's see. Heather says cute. I don't know if she's speaking about you or your entire entourage, but I agree. Okay, so before we go to the next wine, tell us about when you go travel around Bordeaux. For example, I think you're going to Charente tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
And are you going to some beaches there?
I don't know exactly the name in Charente. I don't remember the name. I go to La Côte Sauvage.
Okay.
So
The wild coast.
Yeah, it's northern than Royan.
Okay.
Because here in Bordeaux the waves are too big tomorrow and on Sunday, so I have to go northern.
So in other words, as a surfer, you have to really read the weather and the waves, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And where are other areas in the Bordeaux region that you like to visit? Not only just for surfing, but for visiting, for history, for sport, for leisure, maybe for bicycling?
I don't do a lot of bicycle, but I like. But I was, I'm a bit focused on the beaches and the surfing, so.
Okay, that's fine. That's great.
But sometimes I went to some chateau to taste some wine.
Yes.
So in Saint-Estèphe, in Libourne also.
Chateau Giscourt, we went to that.
Exactly.
Yes, and
very good wines.
Yes, exactly. So, for those of you who tuned in a little late, this is Gaia Coretti. We have worked together. She's a PR agent for navigation sports, sailing sports, and she lives in the city of Bordeaux. But she's also a surfer. And as I mentioned earlier, we have 200 kilometers, the longest beach in Europe, and it's surfer's paradise here. And people don't associate Bordeaux with surfing. When they hear Bordeaux, they think of wine. And so we're talking about surfing while we're drinking some wine. Now we're going to drink a wine from the left bank, Saint-Estèphe, Chateau Haute Beauséjour. Okay? And this is an 85% 15 Merlot Cabernet Sauvignon, which is very unusual. On the left bank, the predominant grape is Cabernet Sauvignon. And usually Merlot takes a secondary role. But in this case, heavy Merlot and the Cabernet Sauvignon is less. Perhaps they have a predominance of clay soils there. Perhaps they've just found that that's the best grape that grows there. Okay, so Gaia, are we ready for a little glass?
Of course.
Of course, okay.
I'm always
Bien
ready.
sûr. Okay. And I see Mimi and Pepino are very happy and relaxed.
Yeah.
And we are too. We're kicking off Friday. Life is good. So, So this comes from the Saint-Estèphe region. And as I mentioned, that's Medoc, that's left bank. Remember, only 10% of the wine in Bordeaux comes from those renowned classifications. And one of them in the Medoc, we start at the south, we go Margaux, Saint-Julien, Pauillac, Saint-Estèphe. So Saint-Estèphe is in the northern part of the well-known appellations, okay, of the Medoc. So let's see, what do you think? Oh, this is a beauty on the nose. This has got some boiling cherries. Well, not boiling, but it's boiling with the aromas of cherries. It's got a little bit of even mint in there, a little bit of chlorophyll, which is attractive. Yeah. Oh, I think you like that, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's Friday.
And cheers to you too.
Oh, to everyone. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We much appreciate it. We have plenty of time, so if you have questions, let us know. That is a beauty. I would like to have that with a T-bone steak. Again, as the initial wine we had from the Charente, great tension between the alcohol and the acidity. It has those elegant tannins and deep fruit of the 2019 vintage, which 2019 is renowned for. So this is a beauty. Love wines from Saint-Estèphe. They have some excellent backbone and structure. So we only have one more after this, which is a Pomerol. In the meantime, I'm going to see if I can say hello to any other friends who might be here. What will you be cooking tonight to enjoy with the wine? That's a good question. Well, our neighbors offered to a barbecue. I think they can do that, and if they're busy working because the wine stores are opening back up, then we will probably get some prawns and have some prawns and perhaps a little bit of beef also, okay? So we have a lot of red wines, no white wines tonight. And remember, 1% of the wines from Bordeaux are sweet wines. 4.5% are rosé, 9% are white wines, and the rest are red. And about a third of those red come from the Entre deux Mers. Remember I spoke about left bank, right bank, which I have explained in previous episodes. So the Entre deux Mers is below the confluence of the two rivers, the Dordogne and the Garonne. They join and they form the largest estuary in Europe, which is the Gironde. So to the west side of the Gironde estuary, you have the left bank. To the east side, you have the right bank. But that area below is called Entre deux Mers, and they have no classified or appellation for red wines. So there's plenty of red wines that are produced there. Most of them are bulk wine. Some of them are very good value. But it's the white wines there that have a classification according to appellations. So the final wine we're going to have is a Chateau Goupry from Pomerol. And Pomerol is only about 2.25 square miles in area, or about 4.25 square kilometers in area. It does not have a classification system. It's small. It's adjacent to the west of Saint-Emilion. And it's well known because Chateau Petrus makes 100% Merlot wine there, which is very renowned, also quite expensive. And the man I spoke with last night, Chris Phelps, he used to work at Chateau Petrus and now makes wine in Napa Valley. So Gaia, pour vous.
Thanks.
Oui.
Merci.
No, bien sûr. Okay. So this is a 75-25. 75% Merlot, 25% Cabernet Franc, very typical for the right bank of Bordeaux. Dominant on the Merlot and backed up by the Cabernet Franc. So let's put this one to the nose. And this one also is very lively, energetic. This one is jumping with the, you've got cherries, you've got black cherries also, which are typical of Merlot. Beautiful and elegant. It's like, on the nose, it's like eating a creamy dessert. Beautiful. Oh, all right. This is so good. I just want to sniff it before I even have a taste this luscious fruit. Mm. Gorgeous rounded mouthful. Beautiful classic Pomerol. Absolutely spellbinding. So let's see. Petit, okay. We have Domaine Petit Marand, merci. Nice to see you also. Who else do we have here? Okay, let's see. We only have about 5 minutes left. If anyone has any questions, let us know. Jody, nice to see you. Sandra, nice to see you. And Danielle, nice to see you also. Great. So, finally, tell us a little bit more about why you decided to move to Bordeaux.
Because I was living in Brittany, and I needed to change because I had I did a personal choice, and I was thinking about Bordeaux, Lisbon, or Sydney.
Oh, well, Sydney, Australia.
Yes, I
nice,
love the
but
three
expensive.
cities. Yeah, but I like a lot the three cities, and then I decided Bordeaux because it was not so far from my country, from Italy, and because I have some customers that would like that I stay in France, so I don't regret the choice.
Great. So, I think we have quite a few minutes left. So a little bit more for you, a little bit more for me.
Here.
So I did a live stream. I watched the live stream 2 weeks ago, and basically the Count of Frescobaldi, famous chateau. Excuse Peppino or Mimi. He was doing a tasting, and he was dressed in a beautiful jacket and a tie, and he was tasting with a young man on Instagram, and he said, normally professionally tasting we spit, but he said during the time of confinement. These are challenging times, so we don't spit. So I've done enough spitting for today. I'm going to enjoy this class. Let's see if we have any questions. Any questions there? Okay. So what do you plan to do as far as surfing goes in the next week? Do you go out in the morning? Do you go out in the evening?
Tomorrow I can go in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And the day after in the morning very soon, because then you have the wind that begin to be too strong. So when the wind is too strong and not in the right side,
okay.
So onshore, sorry, you can't surf very well.
Okay.
And here on the coast in Bordeaux is huge. We will have maybe 3 meters of waves tomorrow, and Sunday bit smaller, but
okay. 3 meters of waves. Oh, that's huge. And when you go out in the summer, is it very crowded? Are there a lot of surfers?
Here in the region, no. You can be in some place like Lacano. You have a lot of people. But then, if you walk a little bit, if you go norther in Ourtin or even norther, you can be all alone on the beach and then surf or just stay. Quiet.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And do you ever do any kite surfing?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes I'd like to go, but I don't know. I like a lot surfing, and I have to work, so I prefer to be focused just on one thing.
Great. That's good. So it's a Friday afternoon. It's 6:28. We have a lot of wines we're going to have tonight, and. Thank you so much for joining us. This is our 9th live stream. We really appreciate you having joined it. I'll try to save this and put it on YouTube. The others are all there. And we've done wines from Armenia. We've done wines from Abruzzo in Italy. And we've done a lot of Bordeaux wines. And basically, all I've been tasting are the 2019. So a recap on the quality of the 2019 vintage. Basically, deep fruit, elegant tannins, and a structure that's going to last for a long time, especially with the whites also. We didn't have any whites tonight. So thank you for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and we hope to see you next time again also.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. Ciao, ciao.